Four countries, 4,500 kilometers, starting in Cape Town, South Africa, and ending in Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. Here we go. Glenn took off about 36 hours in advance of Lori and I, and we arrived with only a 6-hour differential. At least his long way around was well lubricated by Emirates business class.
Well, here I've arrived in Dubai. I got a 8-hour layover, so I got the first class business lounge right here to go to.
It begins. Here we are at the Aspire Lounge in Calgary on our way out, waiting for the KLM. It begins. Here we are. We're off. Spy's got the window seat, and here I am sitting over here. I'm having a Heineken beer, because why wouldn't I? The KLM Lounge is actually very, very big. You can't see it all here. 777 this time around on our 11-hour flight from Schiphol to Cape Town. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, but there's never a better time to drink a Heineken.
That's Africa down there.
So after a whole stack of flying around, Glenn in particular, here we are at our condo in Cape Town. Yeah, man. There's rolling power outages. So what we got here is one lamp in the back, and the power's out. It just goes bink and it's off, and there you are in the blackness.
We have a fantastic view from our Airbnb, but quite a ways from downtown.
A bit of confusion here. We took the bus, we went past where we wanted to go. We're down at the waterfront, the big shopping center, which is behind me there, as you can see. But we didn't pay for the bus. They actually let us go through because there was no way of paying. The power was off, and everybody's calling everybody else as telling us the wrong thing. Anyways, here we are at the waterfront to begin our journey of sightseeing in Cape Town. Go and take the hop-on, hop-off bus.
Lori got hard slapped by a branch on the bus on the way up to Table Mountain.
Here we are at the top of Table Mountain. Down there along the coastline you can see a road. We believe that is the road that we'll be on probably tomorrow. Or pardon me, not tomorrow, the first day of the trip.
This is Camps Bay. It's a beautiful affluent beach area. We went for a drink and spent pretty much the whole afternoon there.
Coming in on you too.
There was
Yeah, you can't escape the peddlers.
And these hills that are up here, these buttresses, are called the 12 Apostles. And supposedly there's actually 17 of them. Here we are at K4, that's Q-U-A-Y 4 in Cape Town. This is sort of a nightclub. They got live music here, and the band is over there. So the first winery, let's take a look in here. See some barrels. Well, here we are in Stellenbosch. We're going to have lunch here after our first wine tasting, which was not good. The wine tasted a lot like diesel fuel. In any case, we're going to have some lunch. This is a university town, about 50,000 students here supposedly. This is the Graf Winery. Supposedly one of the top 50 wineries or vineyards in the world.
This winery was great looking, but the wine didn't quite meet expectations. Strangely, it was very hard to find a good glass of wine in South Africa.
Okay, so this is Long Street, Cape Town's happening place. All the bars and restaurants and stuff are along here. Supposedly this is a pretty dangerous spot, and not a good idea to be walking around here late at night. Mama Africa. This is a popular place where we can eat different kinds of animals and that kind of thing. So That's the inside of it right there. This is where the band is going to be playing at 8 o'clock tonight. We've got marimbas. We have drums. We got more marimbas. There's going to be a lot of percussion. This is the stairway, as you can see right here. And we have rolling blackouts here, power-wise. So there's no power. That means there's no elevator. We're on the 13th floor. Now we have to take all of our baggage and manhandle it down 13 stories. Lovely. You see that guy walking up the stairs there? That'd be Glenn. You walk down the stairs with all your luggage. And then you can't leave the key, so you got to walk all the way back up the stairs, leave the key there, then walk all the way down the stairs again and come out the other side. This is really stupid. Cape Town flea market, I guess. All kinds of stuff. But it's very early in the trip to be buying anything. These guys. All kinds of mess there. Eggs. Ostrich eggs seem to be a big deal here. You buy these things and you go, these are sort of cool. And then you go home and you wear them and people go, what's that? Let's take a look at this crocodile belt. Very nice. Zebra belt.
No, I really, literally, I can't buy it.
Look.
Because we're traveling on a motorcycle.
See, this is a great looking zebra skin. It's not only just the whole skin, but look at it, it's got the mane on it too. Yes, they do have pot shops in Cape Town. This is our introduction. The crew, I will introduce them individually later, okay, but not right now. But anyways, here we are in the lobby doing our first meet and greet. Okay, so we're here in the first for the first night. We're trying to get to the restaurant and it's raining and there's a football match that's here that people are coming out of and we're basically jammed solid on the highway, not moving. So here we are walking down here because as you can see behind, it's a giant traffic jam and we're going nowhere. So we finally just said to hell, we're going to have to walk to where we're going, which is about 1 kilometer, he says. So day one, Lori, who's pretty much guaranteed to go down at least once on a trip, has already gone down. Just pulling his bike out of the garage onto the pavement he goes. So that's his wipeout for the trip.
Just hugging the coast all the way along to Somerset West and Strand over here. The most southern point of Africa is over here. But this is the most southern point of Cape Town and the Cape of Good Hope. So there's quite a lot of rich history and that's the actual little point here on the African map.
Looking back on this bay, you can see yet another beautiful beach. South Africa seems to be blessed with multiple beautiful beaches. And this curvy road along the coast, I hope this is a sign of things to come. That said, it's a really busy road with a ton of bicyclists and runners. We're just about to go to sort of the southern peak, Table Mountain National Park, Cape of Good Hope.
What you guys can do, if you want to,
one of our guys just got a problem.
you can follow this road along.
Already.
Here we are.
Line up for a pick? Don't think so.
Furthest south that I've been.
Sometimes you got to fix some stuff. Right here.
It's a bit early to be fixing things.
Yeah, it is. Not a good deal.
You can see the ball bearings on the ground.
The bike is screwed. We have to, it's a wheel bearing, and that's not something you can just replace in a minute. It's all Eddie's fault. We're going to blame Eddie for this.
This little town was quite touristy. It's off season, but still had a lot of people around.
The amount of apples and soft fruits, peaches, that sort of stuff that comes out of this valley is amazing. And then on the other side of the mountain, it's mainly, there's trout farms and all sorts of stuff like that, but it's mainly wine on the other side.
Well, that was a nice little bit of twisty stuff. You can see that we're going to go down the other side. That was basically on the upside. That was the twistiest road that we encountered, no question of that. You like that?
Yeah.
It was good?
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah. We're ending the day
We
on
got
some
200 kilometers on this.
excellent twisties.
Not a bad way to end the first day.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Probably don't want to be behind me.
Better to get home safe than.
Wayne loves those. I'm okay with them. I just have to go my own pace.
Well, that's unfortunate that you missed that.
Now I am jealous.
Well, I missed the camera on the twisties getting up here, but I'm going to get it on the way down. Really fertile farmland and a great motorcycle road to get down there. Perfect way to end the day. And what's this? Baboons. Some big ones too.
End of day one in Franchon, which is the French Quarter, known for its wineries and for its bakeries and French food. Supposedly very, very good. We're staying at the boutique wine farm called the Vroom. Is it called the Vroom? Droom, pardon me, the Droom. Day two, 550 clicks or so, something today. We're off. We're taking off a little bit late. It's about 9 o'clock, and we'll see when we get there. When you get up in the morning here, it's cold. It's bloody cold, and it's just beginning to start up now. The terrain that we just went through, if I didn't know better, I'd say I was in the prairies. It was very, very similar to that, or the North Okanagan sort of thing. It's very fertile farmland around here, and there's a lot of it. We're still in wine country. I think we're going to be moving into orchard country soon.
Drink a whole bunch of caffeine.
So we got the coffee side on this side, the liquor side over here. We're in a little mountain pass here. Just went through some real nice twisties. Unfortunately, I wasn't prepared to catch it on the camera. Anyway, this is a little bit of a stop that we are taking here. I'll do a rotate around so you can see what it's like around here. Day two, lunch. Don't know exactly what the name of this place is, but it's pretty fancy, as you'll see over behind the trees here. Sort of a boutique, I think it's a hotel restaurant. Not sure of that. I guess that would be the rooms that are up there somewhere. And the restaurant is here, and there's sort of a church. It is a church, actually. A whole bunch of bird nests. I guess the birds go in from the bottom. The birds have manufactured these hanging nests, which are very cool. I'm not sure exactly what goes on here, but it's quite a place with all these special paths and ponds and pools. Oh, here we are, end of day three, or pardon me, end of day two. Just outside of Springbok at this, another one of these boutique sort of places. If you want to know what it's like here, terrain-wise, go to Nevada. It's like that. It's basically just a whole bunch of desert. Adrian arrives. Okay, looking good actually. We thought for sure he'd be looking like hell, and he only looks half like hell. Day three on the bike, about to start off. See that rock pile behind me? Well, that's basically all of the northern part of South Africa. It's just a bunch of rock piles. In about an hour from now, we'll be at the Namibian border. Lots of paperwork and lots of stuff to go through there. Anyway, off we go.
That's the two border posts. Fjolsdrift is the South African one. Noordover is the Namibian name. And then we're heading straight up the B1 for a little section. It's about 120 odd k's to the border, and then we've got another 120 something k's to Gruno. All of this is the gravel section that we're riding. Like I said, we're talking about of about 70 k's.
Glenn's coming back from the liquor store at 9 o'clock in the morning. He appears to be empty-handed. So, what happened?
Nothing. Oh, Lori got lost.
Got lost? Where is it?
Eddie's car.
At the South Africa-Namibia border, there are multiple steps involved in this. We've just managed to get through that. Almost. We're at the last step right now where somebody's got to pay something for some reason. Okay, the final step. We've just had our things stamped, and we're about to go to the gas station and meet up again. I noted that as soon as we came across the border, there was a large amount of flies. We never saw a bug the whole time we were in South Africa. Came across the border, and it's full of black flies or gnats or whatever they are. First lunch stop in Namibia. So from the border, we just went about 200 kilometers in a straight line with absolutely nothing to see whatsoever. No animals, no food for animals, no water, just a flat ass desert with nothing to see. So the world famous Springbok meat pie turns out to be a sausage roll. If you're wondering if there's poisonous snakes in Africa, yeah, apparently there's a bunch of different ones. Yeah. Multiple, very dangerous, very dangerous, very dangerous. Okay, we're finished lunch, had our Springbok sausage roll, and we're now about to hit the dirt, actually. 60 or 70 kilometers of dirt and gravel, which starts off about maybe half a kilometer from here. So let's go and see how that's going to turn out. So some real sort of slimy sand gravel. There's some tricky spots in there. They don't look like much, but they are if you don't sit back on the pegs and get on the throttle when you get in trouble, because there's all kinds of really slimy, slippery stuff. Were you under total control at all times?
Yeah.
Were?
Yeah, I felt comfortable.
Not me.
Yeah, a minute or two, I had a holy shit moment.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Here we are at the Fish River Canyon. You can see it down there. Gravel road, and actually we got some people coming up here. Sort of, I guess, the Namibian version of the Grand Canyon. Bit of a museum in here, apparently. Somebody is an automobile aficionado. It goes all the way back to steam engines, actually.
No, I won't take a glass of wine with me. I'll wait. Thank you.
Take this one.
A bottle of beer if it's going.
All right, I'll have a glass of wine then, please. White wine. Thank you.
Open it? Yeah, that's around for the bar.
We're going to see whether we can see some game. But we've been warned that it's been very dry. There's no water. And it's likely that we're going to see skeletons and carcasses and maybe some hyenas. We're on top of a hill here. We're waiting for some animals to show up at a watering hole.
Well, we didn't see any animals, but the picnic was good. We arrived to this. Looks like something post-apocalyptic. And around the corner, right outside our room, we find an oryx. We'll eat some of this guy later.
Okay, day 4. I think this is it, Glenn? Is this day 3 on the bike or day 4 on the bike?
Oh, I don't know.
10 o'clock in the morning. First stop, I guess, sort of after, well, we're still on the third, but 10 o'clock in the morning we run across a distillery in the middle of nowhere. Look and see. Oh yeah. Major slime half a kilometer ahead of us. Probably best to pass.
Don't be mistaken. Under that shallow water is green slime that's been built up over years. Very slippery. It looks like nothing, but it can take you down before you know what's happening.
Okay, so Maricel, almost done for the day, thank God. Another big long haul of straight nothingness. Again, really sore butt. Started off sort of cool. We had some good stuff at the beginning, but then it was just a straight long haul hot. Had to take my jacket off. It was too hot. But anyway, here we are for lunch. It's 2 o'clock. Look at the claws on this guy. Okay, well, we got some strange looking goats here. Look at the horns on this thing. This thing is definitely a weirdo. So here we are at the Gondwana something or other. And the sand road, 3 kilometers of sand to get in here is like actual real sand. Probably the most difficult part of the ride so far. Really slimy and like really uncomfortable. Very slick type of stuff. Not the kind of stuff you want to be riding on, I'll tell you that. It doesn't look bad, but it is. Well, I guess if you know how to do it, it's not a big deal, but holy crap, man. Here comes the truck. We got riders in the back. Okay.
I gave up.
Yeah.
Other than the first one again, I thought we're definitely.
And you had a passenger. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it.
Well,
I thought, I'd be better off in the middle of the road than on the shoulder.
No, it was just bad news, that stuff. Just bad news. It's quite an extensive resort, actually. And it's in the middle of nowhere. It's a very nice looking resort. For those who like to desert camp, I guess, or desert stay. Here's the best rider of the trip. Managed to get through with a pillion. Right, this would be the pillion, okay, and get through the death sand that took out 3 people. So, and unbelievable, congratulations on that incredible maneuver.
thank you very much.
Okay, so day 5, I guess this is the morning. Well, as a matter of fact, I know it's the morning. Day 5, ride day 4.
This is the infamous red wavy, almost certain to take you down if you lack speed and confidence.
They have these traffic traffic speed lights here that they do it over distance, and it's not over a kilometer, it's over like 30 kilometers, where they track you at the beginning, they track you at the end, they do an average, and if you're over the average, well, then you get a ticket. So you'll note that the van over there is bumping up and down. That's how they fill the gas tanks up here. We're about 20 kilometers south of Windhoek. We've passed the Tropic of Capricorn about 120 kilometers ago. Things got noticeably greener, and this is the end of the bike trip for today, which is great because it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so we get to go to the pool. For those of you wondering whether it was worth it to come up that bumpy road. All right, perfect. Go chickens. This is the bedding arrangement that we have here, which is the furthest down the hill. So we got the giant climb to go back up there, but it's quite a nice spot, actually. Outdoor shower, always nice. And down here, this little thing that you see on the deck right here. Where's it? Right there. That's a bat.
It flew out of our thing, and I don't want to get too close. The thing could bite me. It's a bat, though. There, you can see. Whoa, whoa, there it goes. There it goes. Whoa.
Adrian.
Yes.
Are you cooled off now?
I've cooled off.
Good. Wonderful. So here's a little bit of a panorama. There's a water hole right down there. And we can see from here, you probably can't see it on this, but there's zebras and there's animals out there already.
There are some magnificent views from this really nice resort. Probably the nicest one we stayed at on the entire trip. And it's what one would expect from a high-class African safari.
We're right over here. Well, we're at Aries now. And our destination today is all the way up here.
Off from the big hilltop resort here, through Windhoek, and up to Etosha National Park, which is in the very north end of Namibia. From there, we'll be heading east, but it's another 500K long haul day today. Who's got the biggest one?
Yeah, that's so Valley.
Yeah, that's right.
That is true, that we have. What is Namibia? It's ironwood. The black
One is 1.5, 1,500.
Oh.
Yeah, this is not lucky.
We are in Etosha. This is the point where we go east. We start going east. Tomorrow is an all-day safari, and day 6, no bikes at all. Not quite the same level that we were in last night, I'd say, by a long shot.
Yeah, this is our view tonight. Just a bit different than our last view.
I think Jim might have some too.
Perfect.
Yeah, my wife gives me this kind of, they will kick your ass.
Excellent. Can I drink my wine?
Yeah, well, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
You won't remember a thing. It's
Okay, wait.
yeah,
Start
okay.
again.
Yeah, okay. And that means a skunk is heading toward the bush.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you guys, yeah. I'm still waiting for them to do one or two of the
So day 6 or maybe day 7, depending on how you look at it. This is our no bike today. We're off on safari. It's supposed to be an open 4-wheel drive, but it's a van. That could be good or that could be bad. I guess we're going to find that out. A couple of people have got the trots, and could be an interesting all-day bus ride. So inside this bus, it is incredibly bumpy and really noisy. The whole thing's rattling like crazy. I'm sure this is scaring the shit out of the animals. It's really noisy.
Yeah, no, I did.
Very elegant when they're walking.
Or are they
There's a wildebeest.
Oh, it's wildebeest.
So consider the variety of it: wildebeest, rhino, springboks, zebras.
Eddie is an expert poop analyst. Apparently, pieces of sticks in the poop that are cut at 45-degree angles mean it's a white rhino. Black rhino are 90 degrees.
So we got a stack of zebras here. It's called a harem. Hey. Well, there's a female lion right there. Looks like it's got a limp. It's got a limp. That lion's got a limp. This is a campground that we've pulled in for lunch. Some are doing better than others. We've heard some strange noises, and here's the source over here. Yeah, this thing, Sunway Safaris, not only have they got the great vehicle, but they've got the full barbecue going on with the smell of really good barbecued stuff. A full bore deal. I mean, this is definitely if something to look at. If you were going to do one of these tours, I think that you need to get a tour that does this kind of vehicle. The entire family of elephants that we saw back there, or herd, pardon me, giant herd actually, I bet there's 50 elephants in it. They're all coming one by one to the water hole.
So is that why they're all grouped together? Do they always turn in circles when they sleep?
There could be a mating thing going on here. Look at this. Look, he's going after the other one. Another one of the Gondwana resorts. This is just outside of the park, Etosha Park that is. And this looks a whole lot more upscale than last night, that's for sure. There's a few people here other than ourselves, but not many. Two ne'er-do-wells sitting here. Okay, so what happened to the beer?
They're taking a while to pour it.
Glenn's room's 2 doors down from ours. And this is our resort in the middle of the bald-ass prairie. And here's our pool. It's covered like this so that when the animals come around, they don't dive into the pool and go for a swim. We're having a big dinner now, and it all looks wonderful. These are some kind of, they're worms, and they're a delicacy, and they grow on a certain kind of tree at a certain time of the year, and they turn into giant moths, but right now they're worms. So, okay, so Adrian and Wayne both ventured into wormland, and well, okay, day 7. Everybody's rested up, and the disease that had inflicted multiple people seems to have abated. We're all waiting for the others to come up here. We rode up, Glenn and Lori and I rode up in our new standing up full control mode, and it made a huge difference. Much higher level of confidence in that, and much higher level of control. Very good advice. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how it's done. Okay, so we're getting ready for, I think this is day 6 on the bike, I think.
I think you're a couple days shy.
Maybe day 7?
We had one day not on the bike, so...
I know that the last little video clip said it was the beginning of day 7, and it was. There just hasn't been anything to take a picture of since. We have arrived at that day, the lot. Not really that bad. It was 550 clicks, but you sort of wouldn't know it. It seemed to go easier. A little bit of slippery stuff at the end.
Yeah, there's just one bad spot.
Welcome to the Hukasembe River Lodge. So there's going to be water out here. Maybe some crocodiles. We're actually on the river here. I can see it from here. Right across from Angola on the northern Namibian border. Over there on the other side of the river is Angola. We got our own private beach down there. I'm not sure about swimming in here though. There could be crocodiles.
I held one once.
That one's big enough to give you some grief.
Yeah,
Whoa. A lot of people use this supposedly to go, these little wooden boats to go across the river to go shopping from Angola. Completely illegal, but this is the way it's done. I'm standing on Angolan soil, totally illegally.
Illegal visit.
That's right. I'm such a criminal. This couple doesn't look like a couple in distress. The true disrespecting a country. I only went to Angola to have a go to the bathroom. It was a.
Now we have proof that you're an illegal alien.
Oh my God. Angola.
I think this is day 8 on the bike. I'm not really sure anymore. because there's days on the bike and days without the bike. We're leaving this place and going to the next place, which is still in Namibia. We have 2 more nights in Namibia, and I think we're going through Chobe Park today. As we leave today, we're going through some sandy stuff, so we're going to take the top boxes off just to see whether it gives us the additional maneuverability, stability in the sand. Okay, well that worked out real well. We just came down this big sandy strip here, much faster than before, very high level of confidence. Stand on the pegs, keep the throttle steady, keep the speed up, and most importantly, look way out in front. Don't look down on your front wheel and look at the really bumpy stuff. Look out beyond it and just ride through it. Let the bike swivel around. All very good. Huge increase in confidence and performance on this.
These dirt hut villages are everywhere. Extremely basic lifestyles, but lots of smartphones. And here's one of the methods of making money in northern Namibia, selling wood, and it's the honor system. Basically, take some wood and put some money in the container.
So ripping down this road of about 160 kilometers, absolutely dead straight, burnt out on both sides, elephant signs, but I'm sure there's no elephants around here. And whilst I was going by everybody trying to get to a pass-by shot, I drove into the ditch by accident. Fortunately, crisis averted. The White Sands Resort is sort of a living museum. Supposedly it's the closest to the actual bushman environment that we're going to get. And when the bushman shoots something, you note the little wee bow and arrow, but it's poison tipped. And once they shoot the animal starts to die and starts to drag its feet, and that's how he can tell it it's time to close the deal. This is the fish, the sport fish around here. It's called a tiger fish. You can grow up to 10 kilos. Look at the teeth on this sucker. God damn. Supposedly there's a hippo just out here, but I don't know about that. I think the water's a little bit fast for a hippo. Yeah, make a liar out of me. There are hippos.
Couple hippos there.
Yep, a couple of hippos there. Had to do some repairs to Wayne's bike. He's not really good at maintenance. Okay, so Lori and I decided to follow Hank into this last couple of kilometers into the another Gondwana, and this is pretty slippery stuff. And there's a fork in the road which we use as a convenient excuse to not go any further for the moment.
The crazy Canucks have made it this far.
A little slippery, eh?
Did the dogs go after you too?
No.
Oh fuck, they went after Jim and then they fucking were nipping at my fucking heel.
Fucking kids down the highway are throwing rocks at me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they're not the first ones. We think they're being nice. No, they're fucking throwing rocks. Look out. You're looking a little tentative there.
I was going great till I arrived in that sandpit. When I arrived in the corner, I could see all these lines going like this.
Yeah.
That was me.
Okay, so Hank is coming back to tell us what happened up there.
Right over there it gets better again, and then on the other side, as you'll see, it's there's a very obvious uphill. When you get to that uphill, it's also as sandy as this. It's really quite bad.
Well, he made it about 25 feet. Well, the good part about this is that the sand is so soft that when you fall down, there's no damage. You just fall off. And just like that, you swerve right, you swerve left, and you're in the ditch. John's down. So close, but yet so far away. Here we are at our resort. Again, another Gondwana resort, and all good. Nice looking spot. Riding skills, you know, it's, what can I say? But I didn't actually try. I didn't try to ride through that stuff. I just walked through the sand.
Oh, so you paddle walked?
I paddle walked, and that's what saved me because I'd have been down for sure.
There was those two bad
Good idea
spots.
to do.
Huh?
Well, the third, there was the last one coming around the last bend was pretty bad. Obviously.
Okay, so the Okavango River is now turning into delta. An interesting factoid about the Okavango River there, this is actually an inland river. It flows down inland into the Okavango Valley, or the Okavango Delta, and then disappears underground. So it's a fast-flowing river that just flows underground into the aquifer, I guess. Must be some major aquifer underneath there. This is day 8, I think. And, well, this is day 8 or 9. Maybe this is day 9 on the bike. And this is our last night, or this will be our last night in Namibia. We've got a major sandy patch first thing here in the morning. But pretty much everybody except Glenn has opted out of trying to ride out of this. Okay, we don't know what happened here. Glenn sort of, I don't think he fell down. I think he sort of went into the bush, but... Oh! Well, that was an interesting launch. So Glenn made it down, safe and sound. Really?
Yeah, just kind of, like not like this, but just, it worked. As soon as I started doing that, it just, it made kind of...
Well, I know when he took off, he did that. But you did the wild fishtail. I figured he's going to rocket right into the bush doing that.
Namibia is known as the land of meat, and there's a lot of cattle there. This is a local butchery that just butchered a cow. The guy wanted money for the video, so in a hurry, I offered him $20 US, but he didn't want it. Then a woman came close to inspect it, looked sideways, and excitedly said, "Take it!" So we're at the resort on the Chobe River. Apparently there's hippos in this river, and I believe it. It's a 200-click ride today, very short. And we got here at noon, almost exactly at noon. So real good. We're actually going to have time to...
Bars open.
Bars open at noon, that's right. We're leaving the reception lodge, which I thought was actually where we're staying, but it's not. We're actually going up the river a ways because you sort of can't get there easily by car or vehicle. So we're going on a river ride. Looks calm and relaxing, eh? Just wait for it. Arrgh. Bit of a runaway last night. All of the alcohol that we've been carrying around for days was consumed and more. We were on the big hunt, but we stayed up till... Actually, it wasn't that late. It was only about 1 o'clock or something like that, but I'm feeling it today. So as Laurie has pointed out, we're taking the drug boat. We're going on this because the big pile of Germans was clogging up the waiting list. Second last day. 60 kilometers from here to the Botswana border. We're expecting a number of hours there. And I'm a little annoyed right now because I just dropped my phone on the ground and shattered the screen.
So we're going to run straight to that border. We'll do a refill before the time. There's a little petrol station on the way. We'll stop at the little petrol station, get the bikes filled, and then head to the border.
We're only going to have one night in Botswana, but we need to go through the whole customs and immigration procedure anyways. Saw our first baobab tree. And encountered a welcoming committee.
The Chobe River Lodge. On the Chobe River, a delta of some sort or other, which we'll be going out on a boat in about an hour and a half.
Wow, you see how chill? It's easier for him to
Look, it's perfect. Good.
Nice.
That's it. That's right. Oh, there's the mouse. There's the mouse. There it is. That's the mouse. That's the one. Here we are, last day. We're at the Zimbabwean border right now. And of course, there's more complication. I don't know if it's going to be horrible. It would be horrible if you were stuck behind a bus full of tourists. Just because you're first at the border does not mean you're first to go through. I was caught peeing in the bush. This is a major crime here, it seems. And so I had to, or Eddie had to pay a fine for this. But we're told that is just another way of getting a little bit of dough.
There's an immediate change in road conditions as soon as you go into Zimbabwe. You don't have the highly developed roads. Okay, we're coming into Victoria Falls. Here's a place we didn't stay at.
And here we are in Victoria Falls.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of walking around and stuff like that, so it'll just be more relaxed tomorrow.
We're going to be doing another boat tour tonight, and we're in our resort, and the tour's over. We have actually, no, not quite. We haven't quite handed over the bikes yet. They're going to wash them up a bit, and we're going to take our pictures. But it's time to toss these boots of mine that have worn a hole through the bottom.
God, thank God it's not high season.
So, the final dinner at the Grand what? The big giant old hotel.
Victoria Falls Hotel.
Victoria Falls Hotel. Something like Raffles in Singapore. Very grand dam, sort of old hotel. Very, very nice. Hank has agreed to pay for everything. You know, just to make up for all the shortcomings of this trip. You know, it's
on Facebook now, so it must be true.
Yeah. And once again, to back up what Adrian just said about the people on the trip, I'm going to suggest that all of these motorcycle trips are composed of 20% motorcycling, 80% people. It has always been that way, and it's an amazing thing to meet everybody from all different places, and all actually sort of feel like you sort of came from the same place. We're about to go out on our first foray into Victoria Falls, down to the actual falls itself, and walk around town for a little while. A couple of the people are leaving this morning. We've checked out all the bikes. The official handoff is done as much as it can be done. And second last day. You'll be able to see the mist here. You're going to get wet here for sure. Fashion statements, all of us. So make no mistake, it is a rainstorm going on here. You may not see too much of it, but if you stand here for any length of time, you're going to get wet. So that point right there that you see, when you walk along this path that's over there, it is nothing short of an absolute monsoon. Whoa, there's a big rain blast right there. If you're going to go through the monsoon rainstorm, you might as well just get naked and go for a swim, basically. It's the end of the path.
This is the bridge that goes to Zambia. I guess it's sort of at the bottom of the falls. This is the exit of the falls right here. So we're being very generous by giving away our raincoats to the other people, only to find out that when we get back, we're supposed to bring them back. It was a rental. They said it was a rental, and we were too stupid to understand the meaning of the term rental. So $10. This is the Comfort Pub and Grill, right beside this beautiful reconditioned rail car here, as you can see. And back behind this fence here, and over here is the Chapella nightclub. So it's light right now, but we're probably an hour away from darkness, and I'm not sure we'd be down here in the dark. At the Comfort Inn, a little bit on the wrong side of the tracks, and the price of the beer gets in half, and the size of the beer doubles. There's a pool table in the background there. Glenn and I might have to make a little bit of money off the locals, right? But Glenn has suggested we don't actually play pool because we could get into a fracas.
5 castle beers and then we're out of here.
This is from the deck of the Victoria Falls Hotel in daytime. We had dinner here, but we never got to see this. And actually, I have to take this picture on my phone, so I don't get a really decent close-up. But you can see the mist of the falls and the bridge to Zambia over there.
Beer or not to beer?
That's right. Well, we've ordered a beer here. I suspect that it's going to be a tad more than the beer down at the Three Monkeys. It's quite amazing for such a high-class place how inexpensive it is. These beers, a full bottle of beer, is $3. That beer in the Band Springs Hotel would be close to $20. And braised lamb for $15. That's Adrian from Adelaide, Australia on the left, then Glenn from Calgary, Canada, then Jane and John from England, me, Jim, with my hand up from Calgary, Laurie from Vancouver Island, Canada. Eddie's the guy who does all the work, and then there's Sue and Wayne from California, and last but not least, Hank, rider extraordinaire. A great group, and we may meet again, in whole or part, sometime in the future in some distant land. This is my own opinion. Does not necessarily reflect the group, but here goes anyways. First of all, the roads. Well, this was a 4,500 kilometer tour. Probably half of it, or over half of it, was straight line, no curves, no hills, absolutely nothing to see. Just straight line, high speed blasts. In my mind, that's really not what a motorcycle trip is all about, so I'm not going to give it high marks in that regard. Never saw rain the entire time we were there. Sunny, warm, hot, and miraculously, no bugs. The place was bug-free. The food in Africa is excellent. We didn't have a bad meal, really. Very, very happy with the food. There were some high-class places, no question of it. A little disappointing, though, that we got a couple of our Lux tent nights swapped out without notice. And I consider that to be a little bit of a bait and switch, but I'm not going to complain about it. The fact is the accommodations were excellent. Well, Eddie was excellent. He did most of the hard, heavy lifting, did all the driving, did all the moving around. Basically, he was excellent, and he knew everything that was to know about the country itself. He was an expert in poop analysis and finding bug larvae in the middle of anthills in the middle of nowhere. He knew a lot about what was going on in the country from a very basic perspective. Hank was an excellent rider, also hard worker. These two guys were busy all the time, and they did an excellent job. So absolutely no complaints there. The overall organization of the trip was a little less than stellar. This was a test trip. We were the first ones, or the first group to go on this trip, and I found that a little bit disconcerting because that's not really what we signed up for. This was a very expensive trip, and we expected it to be a little more organized than it was. My major complaint about the organization has to do with how it ended and the inability to easily get back the damage deposit refunds from GS Africa. Their damage deposit review process, and the entire process is, I consider it to be ridiculous. It was very difficult to get our money back. It was weeks after we got back before we were even told we were going to get our money back. And as I'm talking to you right now, I still haven't got my money back. And this is like 3 weeks later. So I consider that a major fail, and I don't like that at all. It's all about the people. We are blessed to have been with an excellent group of people. It was fun. People make the fun. People make the best of every situation, and it's because of that that we can overlook the small deficiencies, I'll call them. Again, hats off to everybody on this trip. It was wonderful to travel with you. Africa is blessed with tremendous beauty and an abundance of natural resources. But there's also something else in abundance. Mixing mud huts and subsistence living with satellite dishes and corruption is a recipe for social unrest. This is unlikely to end well.